Well, what's up? It's day 9 of the 21 Days of Prayer Challenge, and I'm Zach Zender, journeying along with you. Today, the question we're asking, will God always answer my prayers? Does God always answer your prayers? Big question. And so, hey, we're going to get to that in just a few seconds. If you haven't yet, go to prayingchallenge.com. You can download a free guide to go along with you that's going to have Bible verses to go along with you. And also there is that's a great link for you to share with your friends to invite them to jump into the next 21 days with you. All right, so does God always answer my prayers, your prayers? Like my knee-jerk reaction is, well, of course God always answers prayers. But then the follow-up is, but God doesn't always answer our prayers the way that we want him to, right? Maybe you've heard in the past that God has 3 answers to your prayers: yes, no, and wait. I think there's a lot of truth in that. I like what my dad, who is also a pastor, says, that when does God always answer our prayers? Yeah, he does, but it's in these ways. It's no, slow, grow, and go. I like those 4 because they rhyme, and pastors, we love rhymes, alliterations, and acronyms like nobody else out there. So no, slow, grow, and go. What does this mean? Well, there's sometimes that I'm discerning God's will and I'm praying for something, I have a request, and I think it's right, and the answer's just no. I can think of some healing requests that I've had before, and it's like, God, I know it's your will that this would happen, and for whatever reason, it's no. And truthfully, the no's are hard. There are times when God says no to something that in the future, I will then look back and realize, oh, so that's why God said no. There are also times where God has said no about things in my past, and this is probably true for you too, that I don't understand why. I still don't understand why it was a no. Even if I get deeper in relationship and I try to discern God's will more, I still don't have clarity there. And that's where a relationship comes in. And this relationship at the end of the day is us trusting in God and having faith in him that he sees the big picture even when you and I can't. Sometimes it's a no, and those are hard. Sometimes it's a slow. And I don't like these very much either, where like maybe the idea is right. The idea is pretty good, but it's just not the right timing yet, right? Perhaps it's like fruit. If you pick a green banana off the tree and eat it, like you won't love it, but in the right season at the right time, it's going to be really, really good. And by the way, here's what's crazy, and maybe this is your experience too. I don't think God moves fast until I look at it in an overall big perspective. I can look back and see, wow, God, you've done some things and you've moved some things around and you have done X, Y, and Z, and it's amazing. But in the day-to-day, like it always feels like God's moving slower than I want to move. And I think there's a piece to that. And sometimes the reason it's slow is because of the next one, grow. Sometimes, again, the idea is right and everything makes sense, but like you're not ready. Some of the things that I prayed about in my ministry, like I'm trying to do things, quote, for the sake of God. I really am genuinely. I wrestle with that. Is it really for God or is it for you, Zach? And so there are times when I'm like, God, this is a really cool idea. I want to do this. And it's like, you're not ready, Zach. If I gave you that stage, that platform, that influence now, like it wouldn't be right for you. And so you've got to grow into it. And so it's not that your idea or the calling is bad. It's just the timing isn't quite there. I felt that a lot as I was studying to be a pastor. It's like I did 9 years of education. I'm like, but I needed that growth so that when it came, it was exactly what it needed to be. Then finally, go. This is my favorite one. I'm a green light guy. I'm a foot to the pedal guy, and so I love it. These are fun when the request is there and the idea is there and it's a yes from God. I love this. I remember one time praying over a couple that could not conceive a child, and for whatever reason, the presence of God, I felt it so strong. I've only had this a few times in my life where I just knew it was a yes, and so I was praying, I was declaring, a year from now we're going to be baptizing your baby boy. It's going to be amazing, and sure enough, we did that a year later because it was go, it was green light, and these are the most fun. So anyway, I don't know how God's answering your prayers, if it's no, slow, grow, or go, but God always answers prayers. He knows what's best, and so we have to trust him when we don't understand if it's a no or the timing, but we trust that he's always listening to your prayers, and he's a God that answers us. All right, so your challenge for today is I want you to locate one time, one instance each last year where you requested something of God. One no, one slow, one grow, and one go. You can post those in the comments below. That even rhymes even more. And then your prayer prompt for today is I want you to pray for God's justice to prevail against the world's injustices. We know that's his will. And so what are you praying for God to do to fight injustice? And we'll see you back for day 10 tomorrow.